All right, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mackie bringing you another crypto video today. We're going to take a look at Sandbox. Just want to do a quick update. There's actually a little bit to talk about. I have some exciting news that I've seen in the charts, so stay tuned for that. I'll get into that in a second. But I just want to say this is not financial advice, so please do your own research. So looking at Sand, just a quick recap. Obviously, we had this symmetrical triangle. We spoke about this so much, and then a continuation of bull flags. Sam went on this parabolic run and then has had a big correction, which was overly due and required to maintain healthiness in the market and allow sand not to become overly overpriced. So we've seen a correction of 51% if you take it from the wick, and currently at 36% from that high up here, which is really solid. So 50% correction is a solid correction, and importantly, it's enough to say, all right, we've had a really good run. Now we've corrected nicely, and currently we're just consolidating, which is also a really good sign to consolidate. And you can, if you want, you can draw some more patterns here. You can say there's a descending triangle, or you could draw it up if you wanted and say, depending on where you want to take it, you can take it from the wick if you really want, and then argue there's a symmetrical triangle formation there. So there's a few different charts you could say, but mostly I'm saying that we've had a nice correction and we're now moving sideways. I don't mind that symmetrical triangle actually, and we're about to break out of that hopefully. Is something you could look at. So sand is looking pretty good on the charts. If you look, this is what I want to get into. This is the falling wedge sand was in, and if you look at the price right now, you can see we currently just broke out of it right there. So it's a fairly valid falling wedge. We had 1, 2, 3 touch points there. Then we broke out on the downside to and a wick. So three on this side, which is really nice. Good to see. And yeah, we just broke out of this. So this is really good to see. We just saw this on Wax, another NFT related coin, which I spoke about, and it's been performing well. That it was also in a falling wedge and just broke out of that and went on a nice move after that happened. So maybe Sandbox could do something similar. If we were to take a price target on this, we could take it from here and say that we could see Sandbox getting back up to the $7 range, which would be really nice to see. Obviously, that's a 40% move. Actually, it's a bit higher than that. You know, yeah, about a 40% move, which is really good to see. I mean, we could see a nice rally for Sand. That'd be awesome. And we've seen it before. Like, we've seen these parabolic moves take place, so we could definitely see Sand do it again. I think there'd be some resistance along the way, no doubt, and definitely around that all-time high level of $8.50. So we could like move up to, let's say, $6-7, consolidate a bit, and then move higher. So maybe a move like this, where we went up, consolidated, went up again. We had a mini consolidation here and went up again. So we can see something take place like that. And like Sand does tend to perform, especially recently, on its own, but Bitcoin will influence it a tad, just like Bitcoin influences most altcoins. So if Bitcoin heads to like 45k, let's say, then I'm sure Sand will unfortunately just take a bit of a dive. And same with if Bitcoin decides to move to 55,000 or 60,000 over the next week or two, I feel like that would give Sand a definite push to head higher and strive to hit these levels of this target, and then might see some resistance until we head higher. And I feel like Sand still has a ways to go, and especially trading at $5.40, like it wasn't too long ago we saw it at the $8 level. So we could definitely see Sand heading back to that levels and then heading higher. I mean, I'm not being super deterministic and saying this is guaranteed, but it's just for sure a possibility. And with the bullishness currently on NFTs, I feel like the NFT space is just blowing up right now. There's so many new people getting involved. Sandbox is just providing so much more utility, and there's a lot more people getting involved. So I think Sandbox is just doing really, really good things and making big moves in the crypto and NFT space, which is good to see. And just indicates that there's so much still room for growth, especially with the metaverse starting to gain more traction and everyone's starting to talk about it. So, you know, Sand could enter a top 10 position in the total market cap if the metaverse decides to take off even further. And for that to take place, then we're talking about sand, 2x, 3x, 4xing price heading well higher than $5 over the next sort of month, 2 months, maybe even on a longer period. You could say 6 months or a year. The metaverse isn't going to be built in a day. So it could take a while for that to happen, and sand could really start to take off when that happens. And these parabolic moves could just very easily happen. They're not guaranteed. You can't expect them to happen, but they can just randomly happen when you least expect it. And sometimes when you do expect it, as I said with wax, there was a falling wedge. We broke out and it went up. Hit our target perfectly. There's a chance I wake up tomorrow. For me, I'm about to go to sleep. I could wake up tomorrow and sand is just trading at $7.40. Just as a bit nice parabolic move. Not expecting that. Bitcoin could just head lower. And sand could just head lower as well to $4, $3. Definitely a chance. I'm not saying anything's guaranteed. I'm just looking at like probability and possibility, I guess. What are the chances that different scenarios are going to play out? And trying to predict short-term movements are almost impossible, right? They're not. You can't be guaranteed to predict short-term movements, but you can look at the charts and see. Like this pattern has been playing out for a good week, maybe almost 2 weeks, and so to head in a downtrend for such a bullish project and bullish coin indicates that we might be due for now a rise, and especially seeing a big 50% decrease in price. So that's what I'm looking at for the moment. Just a quick look at Bitcoin trading at 49k. I think I really want to break this like $52,000 resistance right here. There's a bit of confluence here. So this is our cup and handle line, and it's also around the bull market support band. So if we can get above that, then I think that'd be extremely bullish for the entire market as a whole. And then sand could really start to take off maybe as well. It'd give a lot of altcoins a push, and so it'd give sand a nice push to head higher. Might leave the video there. Please like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate all the support. Share the video with anyone you think could be interested, and I'll see you later, guys. Enjoy.